All right, guys. So Deebo Samuel has requested a trade from the San Francisco 49ers, and everybody wants to know, where is he going to land? I don't think it's as easy as a lot of people are thinking about making this trade, because he's an interesting pick. He's had a lot of injury issues over his career, and what is his actual value? So he was all-pro last year. Obviously, he had a great year, probably one of the best years ever. But he has come out and said that he just wants to be a standard wide receiver, not the hybrid running back wide receiver he was last year, which personally, nobody's making this comparison to him, but I've always made the comparison of Anquan Boldin to him, because Anquan Boldin is arguably the toughest tackle in NFL history from a wide receiver, and I would probably say he's up there, probably top 5 in history of hardest to be able to tackle as a wide receiver, Deebo Samuel. So that's why he worked so well in that system last year for the 49ers. Going forward, now that he's going to be traded, I think the number one landing spot I think he could land to would be somewhere like the Jets, but they only have 15 mil of cap space. So I think he's going to want more than that, and I think they can get more out of 15 mil. Another one that could be good would be the Cleveland Browns. They have actually a lot of cap space this year, 27 million worth, so they could easily sign him for, I don't know, 20 million plus, because I know a lot of GMs out there have got to be so mad at the Dolphins. The Dolphins signed Christian Kirk to about a $22 million deal a year. And Christian Kirk's an average wide receiver. So now these elite wide receivers are all going to sit out unless they get this money, which pisses me off as a Vikings fan, because, you know, JJ is going to want that kind of money. And it's hard to win when you're giving a wide receiver that much money. So right now, I think the Jets are a decent spot if they want to go into the luxury tax. You have the Carolina Panthers, because you're going to want to avoid NFC teams that are like in the running. Like, people are like, oh, he's just going to go to Green Bay. You really think San Francisco is going to trade Deebo Samuel directly to like who they just beat in the playoffs last year because they had Deebo Samuel? Like, no, they're not going to do that. So Carolina, they're not going to be a contender for a little while. I think that's a good, decent spot for him to land, especially with the injuries they've had with Christian McCaffrey, but maybe they won't risk it because Christian McCaffrey's been hurt. I said the Browns are ready. The Browns, it makes sense if they just want to use him as a receiver. They have running backs, and if that's what he wants, they have running backs. They can make that happen. So I don't think that's a terrible idea. We have potentially maybe the Colts. The Colts have needed a wide receiver, so if they're going to use him directly as a wide receiver, maybe sending him over there to the AFC might make some sense. And then other than that, a real sleeper that I think could actually get him would be Cincinnati Bengals, if he wants to just try to go win. You know, sometimes these wide receivers do want to just win, and they'll take that just little bit of a pay, not bump, or pay decrease, that's the word I'm looking for, to win. So maybe they will do that. So the Bengals could be a decent spot for him. And then people are trying to put out rumors of the Dallas Cowboys, but I really just cannot see them going and sending him to an NFC team that could contend next year, when San Francisco is in a spot to win right now, if and when Trey Lance can kind of figure it out, because I'm assuming that he's going to be their quarterback this year. So if I were to pick anyone, that would be my assumption. Other than that, I don't think anyone of like the really high contenders, like, they've all spent their money. It's going to be tough. Like, I was kind of thinking maybe the Ravens would be a great spot for him, but they already pay so much for Marlon Humphreys and Mark Andrews that I just don't think the Ravens can really be a contender, because they don't have much left on their cap space. So that is my opinion today, guys. Deebo Samuel is a top talent in the league, and I'm very interested to see where he's going to go and if he's going to really change a team around, because he is a stud, but he's got to stay healthy. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and peace out.